Okay, guys. As I promised, I'd be doing a top 5 and my top 5 worst movie characters that are in the Godzilla the game, as far as rendering and other categories, which I'll get into. Now, as I should say, and I'll say for the other video as well, I'm not going to include Godzilla in either one of these videos, mainly because it's just too obvious. Everybody should know Godzilla is rendered very well, and it just goes without saying that they do him right, because he's the central monster in the game. So yeah, no dissing on Godzilla how he was rendered. He was rendered very fucking in a very badass way. I just want to cover other monsters. And this sums up basically all my reviews basically for this game. So, starting off at number 5, as far as my top 5 least favorite characters to play as, I'm gonna go with Anguirus. And so why is that? Anguirus, well, let's face it, in invade mode, there's certain things you just cannot do, which is very annoying. For example, if you ever play the oil refinery mode, which comes up a lot in the game, it is very hard for Anguirus to hit things like tankers and helicopters. And yeah, basically the way you can hit these things is it's very complicated. Helicopters, you have to basically use your the R2 combo where you go underground and then try and position yourself right below the helicopter. Excuse me, and then hope you come up right at the right angle to hit it. And boom, you might hit one or two helicopters, but this is going to be very complicated and time consuming. And then as far as hitting things like fucking Navy ships, it's impossible because he has no long range attack other than slinging dirt, which is useless against hitting ships. But Anguirus isn't too bad, honestly. He has a lot of good combo, especially when fighting an opponent. It's just that when it comes to destroying a city during invade mode when time really counts a lot, he can be kind of slow. But he's number 5. Number 4, Space Godzilla. Space Godzilla is a character I really learned to actually love a whole lot during invade mode. It's just during actually monster fighting his shortcomings really come out. I mean, as I said during my review of the character individually, he can destroy a city actually pretty fast and keep his fury up enough to reach 100 meters pretty fast because he has a crystal fortress technique by using the roar. The problem is in an actual fight, it does not give that much advantage. So against like Super X or military and buildings, he's really good, but against other monsters, he's not so great. Yeah, he's really slow moving on land unless he's flying. And like I said before, his ramming technique is not that effective when he's flying, so you can hit someone, do minor damage, and then hope you can melee them. Even his favorite spear tail technique from Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla the movie. I mean, everyone knows this moment. Space Godzilla rears his tail back like a scorpion and launches a spear tip of it into Megaguirus' chest, killing him basically. This move is pretty good in the game for doing lots of damage. The problem is it takes a long time. So if you're in the middle of a fight, you reel your tail back like a snake, it takes too long. The opponent starts punching in the face or blast you with a heat ray or something, and your whole combo is thrown off. You can't react. So you have to hit them from a distance, which is the good thing about it. Space Godzilla is basically all about keeping distance from your opponent to do any of your fucking plays. So depending on your playstyle, this can work out to your advantage, or it cannot. I'm not going to say it's impossible, because I know Space Godzilla, it's very easy to do a lot of things and beat certain opponents. Just certain opponents, like Mothra, or any flying opponent, you're going to have a hell of a time trying to hit them with anything but the Corona Beam. But Space Godzilla is definitely one of the ones that's difficult and not enjoyable to play with to a certain degree. Okay, so now we covered the latter two. Let's get to the ones I really had a problem playing with. Mechagodzilla 1975. Okay, now this one's definitely more a personal thing than actual gameplay problems, because gameplay-wise, he actually plays fine. Excuse me. He moves fine. He has decent combos. The only problem is its exact carbon copy of the 1974 Mechagodzilla. So there's just no fucking point to me putting him in the game. I mean, he gets a little defining trait if you knock his head off when he's at low health. He'll have the little second head, which can then shoot beams and everything. But to me, it's a game, so if you're gonna have that feature, you should make it like a lot more easy to access. Otherwise, what's the point? There's no defining trait other than that. I mean, it's not a bad thing to play as in the game. It's just like, what's the point? You could just play as 74 Mechagodzilla and get to almost like same exact experience. So what the hell? But yeah, that's my review of 75 Mechagodzilla, and definitely not one of my favorites to play as because, like I said, it's pointless. Coming in at number 2 on the worst to play as, Godzilla 64. Basically, Godzilla in 1964, he has a host of problems that are kind of a composite of what the problems are with 75 Mechagodzilla. That being, it's not different enough to warrant having it in the game. That being said, like I said before in the review, he has a nuclear pulse, which is nothing like what he had in the 60s. This is not a trait, an ability he had in the 60s films, obviously. His heat ray, I know it's the 60s, so it should be weaker, but it shouldn't be that weak. Like, seriously, like, some points in the game, his heat ray is not even enough to destroy buildings. It's really annoying. It has no point in combat, really. It's pathetic. And, yeah, it's just fucking annoying. And then to make him worse than 75, though, he wasn't even rendered with really good looks. I mean, from certain angles, he looks really good from behind, but from the side angles, he looks really bad. And, yeah, Godzilla 1964 is probably the worst rendered character in the game, honestly. Just some sheer looks alone, like, he just doesn't look right from certain angles. They fucked up the eyes. Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, I still like playing as him, but the problem is just they could have done so much more with this character. They really could have. And then number 1, Batra Imago form is my top worst monster to play with, and for a number of reasons. To play against other monsters is fine, I suppose. But then, of course, comes a contradiction. If you play the Mothra larva, my god, the game will go on forever. If you play against Mothra larva, the only combo you can use that will be any good will be the I-beams. Anything else, and you'll miss. You try to do the kicking with your legs, you'll miss. If you try to do the ramming technique, you'll miss. If you try to do the melee combo with the wings, you'll miss. Because the Mothra larva is too close to the ground, and Batra can't rise or lower himself. He's stuck at a certain altitude. It becomes a pain in the ass. So let alone against fighting Mothra. In invade mode, where, like I said, it's all about keeping your fury up in the 30s or above to really grow fast. I mean, let me put it this way. Batra is the only character I've yet to reach 100 meters because it's so fucking hard. Batra struggles to hit things like tanks and the patrol cars because the only way he can hit them is with the I-beams. And the I-beams are not accurate at all. If you're trying to hit a big monster like Godzilla or something, sure. But trying to hit little things like the Super X and the patrol cars and the tanks and Maser tanks, it's damn near impossible, I'm afraid to say, but it really is. Like, I'm not going to brag to I'm the best player, but using Batra in invade mode, it's just fucking impossible to fucking get 100% in certain levels because you cannot hit the other items. And I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm saying it's impossible to get the bonuses, like hitting the jets, hitting tanks, hitting patrol cars. It's hard and too much fucking work. Like, by the time you get done playing Bachelor, you just want to rush to the levels as fast as you can to hurry and be done with it. So, like I said, he's the only one I haven't got to 100 meters yet. I probably will next time around. I probably will get it just from sheer damage. I hope I'll fly through the city really fast and destroy it. But, like I said, he's a pain in the ass to use. So, yeah. Bachelor is my #1 worst character to play with in the game. But overall, I enjoy playing as all 5 of these characters. This is just my top 5 worst if I had to compare them to the other monsters in the game. So don't get me wrong here. I enjoy all the monsters. It's just these are my top 5 least favorite to play with. Thanks for tuning in, guys.